Hi everyone, welcome back to IT Audit with SK, your go-to resource for all things IT auditing. Today we're stepping into the field and doing an exciting practical walkthrough of access control testing using ChatGPT. Specifically, I will be simulating a live audit on a fictional system, let's call it System SK, and we'll be testing for duplicate accounts, we'll be testing for dormant accounts, generic or default accounts, and segregation of duty conflicts. And yes, we'll be feeding ChatGPT the dataset and the prompts live so you can see how this works in the real world. But before we dive in, just a quick disclaimer. So this is all simulated using fictional data. We need to keep things secure and ethical when using AI in our audit work. So, like it says in the disclaimer there, the video is for educational and demonstration purposes only. The data used is fictional and anonymized, and no real systems or client environments were accessed in the making of this video. As always, follow your organization's data handling, privacy, and AI usage policies when using AI tools like ChatGPT in an audit setting. And with that disclaimer done, let's quickly take a look at the data we'll be using as well as jump into the actual demonstration. Let's dive in. So this is the data that we'll be using, and a quick look at the fields. We've got username, user ID, user role, last access date, disabled date, and created date. It's only about 57 records for the sake of this demonstration, but obviously from the test that we'll perform, you'll be able to see how we can actually replicate the same process for a larger data set. We also have the role matrix here, which is showing us all the different toxic combinations when it comes to the roles. For example, we have AP approver, AP processor. This is a toxic combination according to this role matrix. We have finance manager, AP processor. Again, it's a toxic combination. So that's what we have. And this is the data set that we'll be using. I'll also show you as well, if we navigate right to the bottom of this data set, I've included two line items, one user, SIM user here, who has AR processor and AR approver. When we look at the raw matrix, we can see for AR processor and AR approver, which is cell D5 here, that it's a toxic combination. So that means when we do these tests in ChatGPT, we are expecting this to be one of the results that will be spooled when we do the different tests, especially for the toxic combination. We expect to see this user being flagged as such. So this is the data set. Let's jump into the actual demonstration itself. And through the magic of editing, we are now on ChatGPT, and I've already sort of uploaded the datasets that we're going to be using and our first prompt as well. So in this case, it's please review this ACL and identify any users with duplicate usernames or user IDs. I have an idea of the sort of results we're expecting to see. I can demonstrate one of them here. So one of those is user 6. So if you see here on line 6, we have user 6. If we navigate towards the bottom, we've got user 6 again and user 11, and we've got SIM user. So those are sort of the results I'm definitely expecting to see. So let's see what we have in our output. Yep, we've got user 6, user 11, SIM user appearing twice. It's been listed twice because it's got different access roles. So already we can see how ChatGPT would be useful, especially if you're analyzing loads and loads of data. I guess as part of your investigation, you may want to know why this has been set up in such a way. Maybe let's add a different prompt altogether. I'm going a little bit off script here. So what I'll say is for user, um, for user 6, both accounts active, right? Let's see. Putting in a bit of a curveball there for ChatGPT, right? both accounts for user 6 are inactive as they share the same disabled date. Let me know if you'd like to investigate another user or proceed to the next one or the next test. Let's also investigate the other user. So how about user, what's the other one? I think it was user 11. Right, so it's going to look at user 11 for us as part of our investigation. So it says both accounts for user 11 are active as they have no disabled date recorded. Let me know if you'd like to review their roles or check other account activity. So I won't do that further, but this is just to demonstrate the further investigation that you can do, or the further validation you also need to do to check if your results are actually accurate. So that's one of the prompts. Let's look at another one. So here, let's look for, I guess, dormant accounts. So accounts that have not been accessed in maybe 90 days or more. So let's get that prompt here. So it says list accounts where the last access date is more than 90 days ago and the disabled date is blank. So those are sort of our conditions. And so I really find that with ChatGPT, if you know sort of the conditions or what you want to test, and if you can put it in words, but maybe you are not very good with Excel or any other sort of tool, as long as you know what you're trying to do, and if you can put it in words, then ChatGPT will do the heavy lifting for you, so which is really good. So I guess if you are able to articulate your problem, then you are sorted. So here we've got all the dormant accounts listed, and let's see the logic that was applied here. So it says convert last access date and disable date to date and time. That's fine. Calculate the cutoff date, so it's 90 days ago from today, and then filter accounts that haven't been accessed in 90 days and are not disabled. That's what we have here, so that's good. I guess just looking at this sort of logic applied here, if you want a specific cutoff date, then you can obviously include that in your prompt. So here we've got a couple of accounts. We can see those. Maybe you want to do some further investigation. You could probably say add a column for the months or days dormant. So this is now for you to quantify by how much these accounts have been dormant for. So let's see the output that we're going to get. Right, so the table now includes a column showing how long each account has been dormant in months and days, so 259. If their policy, for instance, says, I guess, inactive accounts should be disabled after 30 days, so you then go to them and say, all of these have been dormant for more than 30 days, and then you can quantify. Maybe we've got, how many have we got here? 26 accounts, and they've been dormant for more than 3 months or 3 months or more. What's going on here? So that's how you then start your conversation, and you would have quantified it. So there we go. I guess let's look at another one. Maybe let's look at some generic accounts. So these are accounts that do not clearly map to real people. Right, so let's put our prompt here. Flag accounts that appear generic or default based on names like admin, test, user. So I'm going to just edit this a little bit. Admin, test, etc. Exclude accounts which begin with user. And why I'm doing this, if you remember from our data set, almost all of our users have the format user plus number. So I don't want to include those. I just want those that do not follow that format. So I'll say exclude accounts which begin with user or do not follow the format user plus, say user plus num or user followed by number. Right, let's see what we get. So I can see here some generic keywords that ChatGPT is basing this on. So there's admin, there's test, there's guest, default, temp, and looks like we have our output now. So we've got admin, and then we've got test user. So that's sort of in line with what I was expecting, because I also put a line to say an account that doesn't follow the user plus number format. I was expecting to see sim underscore user being added there as well. So I guess this is also part of the sense checking you need to do in terms of the results that you get on ChatGPT. But this is pretty accurate anyway, so that's fine. And then you can further do your investigation as to how these accounts are controlled and so forth and so forth. Let's look at another prompt, maybe now to bring in the SOD matrix. So I've got using the ACL, oopsie, ACL and the SOD role matrix, identify any users who have conflicting roles or toxic combinations. Let's see how this will go. So we know what we're expecting from when we did the analysis of the data, or when I introduced the data set that we'll be working with. Let's see what we are going to get from the results. Right, so we have sim user, which is very accurate. So this one user has got access to AR processor and AR approver, which we noted before that this is a toxic combination. So let's see the results. The analysis found that sim underscore user holds both AR processor and AR approver roles, which form a toxic combination according to the SOD matrix. Right, so let me know if you'd like to generate an audit summary or investigate further. I won't investigate further, but for the sake of this demonstration, you can easily see how this again would be really helpful if you were doing this for a much larger data set. Maybe to sum it all up, let's say generate a summary of the results above, risks, and additional audit steps audit steps to further investigate. Right, let's see what we're going to get. Right, so a table with test, objective, result, and conclusion. Right, so duplicate user IDs, we know the duplicate entries, and it's even given us in a conclusion there. So ineffective, ineffective, concerning, ineffective, quite good. Then we have some key risks identified. We also have some recommended audit steps. So this is really helpful for you. I guess there's so many ways you can take this forward. So this will be quite interesting. And it also says, let me know if you'd like this formatted into an audit report, or if you need help drafting email findings. I won't do all of that, but I guess for the sake of this demonstration, I might end it here. And maybe let's quickly look at all the prompts that I used, and hopefully you found this pretty informative. Let's quickly move on and see the prompts that I used. Well, I hope you found that demo useful. These are the prompts that were used in the video. Maybe I might have tweaked them a little bit here and there, but if you want to try it out yourself, they are listed here. Feel free to pause the video. And with that, that brings us to the end of the video. This whole simulation just shows you how ChatGPT can help you to do a couple of things like data analysis, spotting anomalies, speeding up your data analysis, which is efficiency in terms of your audit work, drafting findings, as well as next steps. But another reminder, do remember never to use your real client data in public AI tools. Always anonymize or use a test environment, just like we did here. And if you found this helpful, and if you want to do it yourself, I'll link all the details, the prompt pack, the sample dataset, SOD matrix, and all of that. I'll link it in the description below so that you can download. But also, if you want to see more AI powered walkthroughs for ITGC testing or any other sort of IT audits, do drop your ideas in the comments and I might use them in the next episode. Otherwise, until then, see you next time.